Got the Amber Alert roughly around 1:30 this morning. It had a description of the car, the suspect, and the little girl.
At about 7:30, 2 employees for Pelican Waste and Debris were on the job. They were aware of an Amber Alert that had come out in the morning about a missing child in New Iberia. And as they drove down Burton Highway, they looked off to their left, and in the field behind me, they saw something suspicious.
Man, and something told me, bro. Something told me. Like, just look. I said, what that car doing way it ducked off in the field like that?
And he was like, B, you notice what I just seen? And I was like, what's that? He was like, man, that looked like that silver Nissan that they say on the Amber Alert, that he seen on the Amber Alert.
Using Facebook video to give us on the scene, nearly at the moment video, Dion Merrick and Antoine were the Pelican employees who chose to act and trap suspect Michael Serial in the wet and muddy field.
Look where you was parked. Look what I did to that truck. I blocked the truck in, make sure you couldn't get out. Call 911 at the same time, back my truck up in the driveway to make sure he didn't get out, and talked to the 911 operator, and she basically told me had about a minute before a deputy was going to be on the scene.
Both men are fathers, dads, and what happened and could have happened, that strikes close to home, and why deciding to get involved was a no-brainer.
She's safe, bro. Thank God, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a little girl. You know what I mean? On my job, doing what I got to do, dog. You know what I mean?
The other message from our heroes, so often they say people tend to drive by. You tend to look the other way. You choose not to get involved. Thank God our heroes, Dion and Brandon, chose to do otherwise. In St. Martinville, Scott Brasley, KATC, TV3.
Okay, so this right here is actually a follow-up to the story I just recently posted. And I'm not even gonna lie, I thought this was a whole different story until I heard the name of the kidnapper. Now, y'all probably have already seen the video that I did about him. And now this is a story about the 2 guys that saved this girl. Now, these are the 2 guys right here, and that's the little girl that they saved. I'm so glad that they were there and that they were alert to stop this guy from fully going full-fledged with the kidnapping. I mean, he already kidnapped her, but thankfully he did not get away. Remember, like I said, the guy that got this girl was the one that they said was like a family, a friend of the family, but we don't know who the family member is to this child. We don't know if it's the father, the mother, or maybe somebody else. And as I said, you got to be careful about the people that you bring around your kids. Hell, you need to be careful even when it comes to having other family members around your children, because you never really know people these days. Sometimes you don't really know your family. But I'm glad that these 2 right here were actually able to stop this guy from going forward with it, especially since this guy has a history. This guy is already registered as a sex offender, so he has a history of messing with little children. So you just have to be very aware and be very careful. And one of the guys, and I think it's the guy on the right, was saying how he has a daughter. So he can only imagine like what he would probably do, or what he would do, if his daughter was caught up in that situation. But these 2 right here are definitely hands down and without a doubt heroes. She's definitely never going to forget this. For one, she's not going to forget the fact that she was kidnapped by this person who she probably knew and thought she could trust. And 2, she's not going to forget that these 2 guys were the ones that saved her from what could have ended up being a very bad and tragic situation. Because who knows what that guy would have did to this girl when, if he was able to get pretty far. Because he didn't have her that long. Remember, she got kidnapped one day and they found her the next day. But who knows what could have happened between then and now. They said that she got taken in for an evaluation. I haven't heard anything saying that she was violated in any way, which hopefully, that is the case, that she wasn't. But I'm glad that she was found safe, because we hear so many stories about children being kidnapped by these freaks and these pervs and these creeps, and does God knows what to and with them. Some don't even survive, and some go missing and they never get found until maybe years later, if they even get found. And if they get found, are they still alive? And things of that nature. But that's not the case with her. Hopefully they find out who this person knows in her family, because they got some explanations that are needed. Like how could you bring someone like that around this child? You like had to have known this person's history, especially since it's public knowledge. But you know, it is what it is. It all ended on a good note. But shout out to these two men. The city definitely needs to reward them heavily for what they did, because like I said, it's very rare that in some cases that the child is found when they're kidnapped. And then on top of that, found so fast. Like they found her literally the next day. Like sometimes, you know, it could be days, weeks, possibly even months before some children who are kidnapped are even found. And they found her the next day alive, which is a very good thing. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure that you text the number that is pinned down in the comments below so you can receive notifications every time I upload a new video.